Once upon a time, in a lush, vibrant forest in the heart of Animal Kingdom, the animals lived in a delicate balance. Among them were two figures who stood out, the small but clever tortoise, and the powerful yet prideful hyena. While hyena ruled with fear, tortoise ruled with his mind. And so, their story begins, a tale of wit, strength, and the battle between brains and brawn. One day, as Tortoise strolled through the forest, he came upon a tree bearing the juiciest fruits he had ever seen. But as he prepared to feast, Hyena appeared, his eyes fixed on the same fruit. Knowing he couldn't compete with the hyena's strength, Tortoise quickly devised a plan. "Ah, Hyena, my friend," Tortoise called out. "You must be hungry. Why don't you take the first bite? But be careful," it said, "these fruits belong to the spirits of the forest." Hyena, eager to prove his bravery, scoffed at Tortoise's warning and bit into the fruit. But to his surprise, the fruit was sour and left his mouth burning. Tortoise chuckled to himself as Hyena's pride took a hit, and the hyena stormed off, humiliated once again. Furious and determined not to be outdone, Hyena began to plot his revenge. He decided to lure the tortoise into a trap, one that would prove once and for all that brains could not outmatch brawn. Hyena spread word through the forest that he was hosting a grand feast, knowing that Tortoise's love for food would draw him in. But little did Tortoise know, Hyena had prepared a pit covered with leaves, waiting for the tortoise to fall in. Tortoise, always cautious, noticed something odd as he neared Hyena's feast. The ground seemed too smooth, too perfect. Sensing danger, Tortoise quickly devised another plan. He pretended to trip and fall, landing just beside the pit. Hyena, thinking his trap had worked, rushed over, only to fall into his own pit when Tortoise quickly dodged aside. The forest erupted in laughter as Hyena struggled to climb out. Once again, the tortoise had turned the tables on his would-be captor. Humiliated for the last time, Hyena decided there was only one way to end this rivalry, an outright confrontation. He challenged Tortoise to a contest of strength and wits, where the loser would be banished from the forest forever. Tortoise, knowing he couldn't match Hyena's strength, agreed, but only if he could choose the challenge. Hyena, confident of his victory, agreed without hesitation. Tortoise proposed a race around the entire forest, with the winner being the first to return to the starting point. Hyena laughed at the idea, knowing he could easily outrun the tortoise. But Tortoise had a plan. As the race began, Hyena took off, leaving Tortoise far behind. But the tortoise had placed his family members along the route, each one identical to him. As Hyena raced around the forest, he was shocked to see Tortoise ahead of him at every turn. Exhausted and confused, Hyena reached the finish line only to find Tortoise already there, calmly waiting. The animals cheered as Tortoise was declared the winner. Hyena, now humbled and defeated, accepted his loss. He had been outwitted by the tortoise once again. And so, the tale of Tortoise and Hyena became legend in the forest. It was a story told to young ones to teach them that strength alone is not enough, wisdom and cunning are just as important, if not more so. Tortoise, the little tortoise who outwitted the mighty hyena, proved that sometimes, the smallest creature can have the biggest mind.